Welcome, everybody. So good to see you. So good to see you come back. Yes, we are recording this call so that I can create an edited version for you to listen to the energetic alignment that is part of this contemplation of the day. Please don't be shy. Turn your video on. It's so beautiful to see all you beautiful souls on this recording. I know it's challenging. Hi, Amanda. Hi, Emma. I appreciate you guys showing up as yourselves. And you will soon find out why I'm motivating you to do this. Hi, Linda. Always ready to show up for herself. I love this. It's very beautiful to watch you tuning into the alignment yesterday, Linda. You might not be aware of it, and you also share it, but it's very beautiful to watch your eyes and see how your energy shifted throughout this contemplation that we do together here. Yeah, so how is day 3 after Christmas treating you? How is this third transition out of the old energy into the new energy? I would like to share. This might be the day where people get into fights, into trouble. This might be the day where relationships break up. There is a lot of energy that is being released right now, and as many of you might have to go back to work, there is a little bit of stress or panic coming back into this intimate silence that Linda shared with us yesterday. Cindy, you were sharing in the chat here, you're feeling some physical residue coming up. Would you like to explain this? Would you like to express this? What this means to you? Hey, Cindy, where are you calling from?
Washington. And I woke up this morning with just some deep, like bone and joint residue coming up that feels like it's coming up just to release. So I like that you said release, because that's what it feels like.
Yeah, it doesn't always feel like relief right away, right? When old stuff gets released.
Yeah.
It can feel a bit uncomfortable at first. Did you find out what helps you to better deal with this? Did you do anything or shifted anything to help your body, your physical, to
I've been
adjust?
doing a little bit of stretching. I'm going to do a little bit more before I have to go to work. Water. I can always tell that water. I didn't drink nearly enough water yesterday. So I think that's needing to help move that stuff through.
I like how you worded this, that it helps to move things through, to clear things out. Yes, drinking water, I am guilty too. I feel a bit dehydrated today, and I have my one of 3 full bottles here right next to me. Yes, water helps to release. It helps to clear. Releasing is a big part of this. So someone once said to me, in order to let the new train come into the station, you have to let the old train go. You have to let it leave. And I would like to sort of point your attention to this today as we contemplate the sacredness of ourselves. It's so easy to recognize the things that are hard, that are challenging, that pull us into our negativity or into our inner darkness. And yes, part of being fully awake and fully aware is to see truths and to be okay with truth, even if it's a little niggly, even if it's not sort of how our ego would like it to be, like ideal, or, you guys all know what I'm talking about. We've contemplated about this yesterday, the projections of ourselves. So a big part of arriving in the now and being fully conscious is to own all that is. Also, the not so good things about what we do, what we feel, what we think, perhaps. And so I want to bring in a little more awareness about all the cool things that we have. So we've mentioned this here and there, what we can do to shift. Cindy just shared with us that she felt, stuff come up physically, old stuff, and that she, made plans or formed a bit of a strategy to help her body to release those things. How about our emotions? What about our true feelings that we all too easily shove away, or don't want to take the time to really feel them?
I'll share, Jona.
Yeah.
After your gift of yesterday, and thank you again so much, I went to be by myself someplace where nobody would hear me, but there was no intention of what was going to happen. But one of my sisters on this call happened to send me her favorite song, and so then I just listened to it. The ego said, "Don't listen to that; it'll make you cry." So I listened to it over and over and over again, and I had this incredible release, and I bawled like a baby. It was awesome, and stuff just came out. But I think the difference was, I can go, "Oh, dear true self, please help me get rid of this stuff, or help me see what it is," and pretend that that's what I'm trying to do. But it's the actual really doing it. There's this mind part that wants to think that if you just ask that it'll happen, but there's no intent behind it. So I was reminded yesterday of the power that comes, not just saying that you're going to do it, but actually like getting down and dirty and doing it. And I just really thank you for what you're doing here. This is so beautiful.
I'm glad you came back. Thank you for your courage to share a moment of incredible release yesterday.
That was a puddle, but it's okay.
I think we can all relate, Joe. And sometimes it also helps us remember, when we see someone else go through this, it connects us with the warmth in our heart, as opposed to the coldness that we so easily go into just to get through, just to get by. And you said something very important right now. It also reminded you of the power that is in you, the power of the pain, the power of fear, the power of, anger too. Anybody here who is feeling anger today is part of the package, is part of this whole releasing, or maybe something like a deeper feeling that it's time, or that whatever it is that you've been dealing with or sucking up is enough, something like that. Do you feel that too? It can only come if we truly own all our feelings and thoughts and sentiments and even those voices in our head that we talked about yesterday. And when we allow ourselves to do this, then something happens. And that is something, Joe, you just so beautifully shared with us. We become aware of our true spiritual thinking, and whether we are actually following through on it or not. And what is holding us back from following through, guys, is not just our intention, okay? Because most of us have good intentions. It is the awareness of really being there with it, owning it and calling on ourselves and calling on this higher power to say, okay, it's rough right now, and I'm feeling anger, or I'm feeling sad, or I'm feeling a lot of pity for myself, or I'm angry at this world, or I don't believe in anything anymore, or whatever. Okay, but that's part of me, and all I need to remember is the good things, is the power of this consciousness that allows me to tune into these other aspects of myself. Which are those, guys? What can you recognize as higher power in you? Even if you don't always follow through on it, but what can you recognize that is actually in you that could theoretically tune you into a stronger you? Who wants to share? Courage. Okay, but where does courage come from, really? I mean, courage is kind of what we're talking about, right? Because that's what we lose when we go into this negativity or this darkness or this heaviness inside. What can bring it back? Calmness, yes. So, this is kind of like what we're practicing here these 12 days, to take this time. Here we're taking 30 minutes to talk and express everything around it, and then 5 minutes to align our energy to it. But what is it? What is that higher power that acts through us, or that could act through us? Annette is sharing that she had a sudden clear revisiting of 2020 this morning, and how moving it was, and how astonished she was about all the things that she went through. Clarity is one of those powers. How do you think we can activate clarity? I mean, darkness, negativity, all that comes with confusion, right? Or with not really feeling clear, feeling more fogged up. Yes, to believe in your inner feeling. I like that, Nigel. Yes, to remember that we have a heart. What do you find in your heart? What can you find there? Say that again, huh? Self-love. Yes, the power of love. The power of awareness. The power of perception. What other powers can you, or could you activate if you are aware enough? Linda, you sharing that it was helpful for you yesterday when I talked about my son and some of the disappointments, his Christmas gifts. Yeah, it allowed you to realize that you were attached to getting a certain or specific response from others. I think you expressed this very beautifully yesterday when you talked about the role that you're playing, Linda. That was very to the point of what it is that can distract us from our inner powers. What about the power of beauty and the power of joy? So many of us don't actually realize that it's a power. We kind of dismiss it perhaps. But it's something that I've always liked about this Advent time, these days leading up to these sacred nights, where people go into decorating, they go into I go into baking cookies, creating all these beautiful things, really fully enjoying to engage with all of them, the scent and the taste and the smell of things. We dismiss this, and obviously, yes, sometimes people go overboard with it, but there's a huge power in honoring joy and beauty and bringing it into our lives and other people's lives, perhaps through a bouquet of flowers or just simply doing something beautiful. What other powers can you feel as a higher power?
Actually, I know this is going to sound a little one-sided, but especially as women, and also it can also happen very much in the United States, this kind of dismissal of one's own ability to create anything beautiful. That kind of, I've always wanted to and enjoy being able to just encourage people that they can draw.
Yeah.
And so many people are so afraid of even doing that. Like before they even get close to putting a piece of paper on, they've already have a whole dialogue about why they can't draw something. So.
And how it's bad. And they're telling everybody, oh, I'm a really bad drawer.
It's just like a whole world that gets developed over a pencil and a piece of paper. And I've come from a life that I'm very fortunate to have. I reviewed that yesterday, actually, how ingrained in visual creativity and artwork I am, and how that can easily reflect when I get down. It easily pulls me out very, 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 very quickly.
Wonderful. Thank you for sharing, Janet. Where are you calling from?
I'm still in Ecuador.
Calling from Ecuador. It's so wonderful.
Where it is beautiful, by the way.
Yes. It's wonderful to hear you say this and express this. It is a power. Anything that can help us clear, heal, those are all powers. Like Cindy mentioned in the beginning, just this awareness of what can I do to strengthen myself, to clear myself. That's a power. What else? Celia is sharing here. Yesterday morning, I felt a rush of disappointment for moving too slowly. Oh, I know that one. I had plans for the holidays to do more exercises, to start something before the new year. Not happy about my son does not have concrete plans either. And then I found myself back. Felt love. I realized very clearly that all solutions come from and with love. Completely relaxed and stayed in the loving feeling to let this grow. I love the way you express all this, guys. The power of love. Yes, the power of healing, the power of courage, the power of clearing, the power of clarity, the power of perception. These are all higher powers acting through you. That is what it means to be spiritual. That is what it means to honor the sacredness in you, to recognize these things as powers. And then, of course, to choose, to consciously choose to engage with them, to express them, to word them, to use your words, your pencil, your actions to express these powers. Because as you do that, it changes and shifts your energy into a higher vibe. It allows you to feel that again. And this is really what the sacred self-awareness needs to how it needs to be expressed, how we need to embody it. We don't have to wear red socks and hold our fingers like this, or sit like this, or wear red socks and be a vegan or any. Those are all false self aspects. If we feel like it, we can do that. But we should do this consciously and know what we express through that. With everything, with every choice, with every word, even with every thought that we entertain, with every exercise that we do, with every action. Yes, thank you for sharing this, Siri. You felt this disappointment and anger very, very clearly, but you chose to focus on gratitude and love. And this is, even though it's challenging sometimes, what it comes down to. True spiritual thinking means to recognize that there is higher power flowing through us at all times, and that we can either express it or repress it. And when we go through the darkness of our soul, guys, we are repressing it, because it's actually our true nature to express the higher power. It's much harder to repress it, energetically seen, than to express it. And you might just have to take my say-so right now, because we're just at day 3 of really doing this every day, even just these 5 minutes. So I want you to lean back and enjoy the energy alignment. I pre-recorded it today so we can listen to a good audio and just feel into it. I'll publish the text so that you can do this alignment with your own words, because particularly today, it's important that we recognize that these things need to be, or need to come into expression. We have to use our own words to express our true feelings, our true needs, our true intentions. Very, very important. This is sort of the contemplation for today. So you can turn your video off if you like. I'm going to turn the music on now. Higher power. I am one with my true self, the part in me that is unchanging, eternal, and infinite, the messenger of divine consciousness and true spiritual thinking. I recognize the presence of higher power expressing through the promptings of my true self. It comes to me as sacred life force and divine love, and reminds me of higher power in me, even if I have become unconscious and asleep. I herewith dedicate this sacred self moment to honor the powers that protect and guide me, and that help me to feel this higher power as grace in my heart at all times. I honor the higher power that helps me to clear all negative influences from any source within and around me and my family and home, that cleanses me and gives me the courage and strength for the next phase of my life. Guide me along my highest path of greatest good and show me the way. I honor the higher power of healing to heal me on all levels, physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, and etherically. throughout all time frames and dimensions. Return my body, soul, and spirit to wholeness and balance. I honor the higher power of perception that brings me messages, guidance, hope, and inspirations that are perfect for me right now, in perfect ways, so that I will have all the loving guidance that I need right now. I honor the higher power of beauty and joy to lift my spirits and that of others, and bring me joy, happiness, love, laughter, lightness of the heart, and love for life. I further honor the higher power of consciousness to purify my spirit and my life, and allow me to be a pure channel of divine love and thus service for others. Bless my life in the highest and most appropriate ways. I honor the power of inner peace to heal, harmonize, and bless all the relationships in my life, so that I may spread greater harmony, love, and light upon the earth wherever I go. And lastly, I honor the higher power of abundance to bring me all that I need for this journey through life, and shower me with appropriate abundance and wealth in all areas of my life, so that I may serve fully, and so that I can express divine light in me in this world. Thank you. Minutes. 5 minutes tuning in. No matter where we're at, no matter what is going on around us. So true spiritual thinking, true spiritual awareness does not express through the things we need to, the things we think we need to do or say or be. It expresses through our awareness. Not even our intention, just our awareness. On day 1, I mentioned that we will use these 12 days of sacred self to tune into these different spiritual hierarchies that are acting through us. On day 1, we tuned into our higher self, our most sacred self, deep in our sacred heart. And yesterday we tuned into the true self part in us that many of us also experience or feel as something like a guardian angel, like a steward, like a guardian that helps us to remember all these things, even if it sometimes comes in the form of our critical inner voice. And today we align to the higher power in us that acts through all these different feelings, sensations, emotions, expressions, and how that's aligned to an even higher version of spiritual guidance, archangels, if you will. So those of you who are familiar with the powers that come in or that are aligned to certain archangel archetypes, you will find them in this alignment. These prayers that you see in the multitude of angel awareness and so forth are not powers outside of us. Those are powers that are inside of us. But they are archetypal, which is okay to associate them as, Michael or Gabriel or Raphael or Yophiel. It's okay to do that. We just have to remember that it's not something outside of us, that it is something that is coming through and expressing through us. So the more we tune into these powers, the more we honor these angel powers in us. So this is my rendering of this spiritual hierarchy that reminds us of our higher power. How do you feel about this when I bring in angels and angel awareness? Since we've talked about true spiritual thinking, can you see what I'm trying to help us with? To bring all that we have been conditioned to see as external powers or things that we need from the outside, to bring that back and to claim it as part of us, but also being aware that it is a higher power. It is not the ego that we have that thinks, oh, I'm an angel, see my divine light. That's the false self. It's this internalization of it. And it's not important to be familiar with this. I mean, our cultures have kind of woven this into a lot of things, not just religion or New Age. It's okay to not really visualize it as an angel being. I prefer that. I prefer you visualizing yourself as an angel being that is being carried through this 3D experience, through its own higher angel awareness. I see you guys typing. We're out of time. Would you like to just speak into the microphone? Okay, Heather is glad that I brought this forward, because you normally choose silence over talking about these kind of things. Yes, this is a big thing, a big shift that is coming in now, guys, in 2021. Is that it'd be okay to talk about these things. You just have to be careful to not mistake this as sort of an idealization or transfiguration of that. Always remember, when you talk about higher power, what this feels like inside, and refer to what it feels like for you and how it expresses to you. Then it doesn't sound weird or woo-woo, because everybody can relate to this, just like how you shared here in the beginning. The power of love, the power of compassion, the power of clearing, the power of healing. Those are all things that we all have. Yes. So yeah, it's never been easier to be spiritual than now, guys. And trust me, the next years are going to open this up so much, especially for those of us who are a little older, who've been around this new age corner and, we're labeled as woo-woo or fringe dwellers by others. Talk to younger people, you'll notice it. It's all normal now. So yeah, have the courage to express your true spiritual feeling by honoring these higher powers in you. I'm looking forward to seeing you tomorrow again. Thank you for sharing this with friends and family. The response is overwhelming. It's really beautiful. People that just randomly see those videos on YouTube. So thank you to all of you contributing to all of this. Bye-bye.